Hi everyone, starting a new project on our boat. We have to take out the engine because we having a huge leak of oil, and presumably I'm being told that this leak comes from the rear main seal, which is a packaging seal that is in the back of the engine. Um, and it needs to be replaced. The problem is that even though that this is a fairly simple job to do, the problem is that there is no way to do it where the engine is. The engine must be extracted in order to change that seal, and that makes it a very long project. Since we are already going to take the engine out of its place, and I'm going to explain later on with videos why it needs to be extracted. I'm going to show you in the exact place where the seal is and why it's impossible to do it without removing the engine. Um, 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 the Since we're taking out the engine anyways, so I decided that this engine, which has more than 4,000 hours running, we're going to might as well, if you're doing so much, then let's go for a full service on the engine. And it's a little bit tricky because it could be just servicing it, just making fuel injection, um, uh, should be just cleaned out, and filters obviously going to be changed. um, Maybe be superficial service, but also it might represent a much deeper job, which is rebuilding the engine. um, and we're going to find out this after I take out the engine. In theory, I should be able to do the job of changing the rear main seal inside the boat. Just put the engine outside in the alley. But to do a full service, I want to make sure this engine runs good. I'm not a mechanic, but I'm willing to try it out myself, because it's a big budget to do it. If you have someone else do it, it's a big budget. But I do have the help from mechanics that are going to assist me in giving me advice on how to go about it. And we don't know where this project is going to end up. So the simple one is change the rain main seal and put it back. Second option is do a service on the engine. Third option is do a rebuild on the engine, which is a very complex job. And there's one more option, which is change the engine for another one. I was being offered a Yanmar 4JH4. I don't know which one of the four categories. There's four different engines in that one. I don't know which one I'm being offered. I don't know what the condition of that engine is yet. And I would be replacing it for my Perkins 4108, which is a British engine, a diesel engine, which is known to leak a lot of oil. So it's not such a big problem, but it's known to be that. And I'm going to have to decide whether I want to go and replace the 4108 Perkins back to the boat, or if I'm going to change eventually for a Yanmar. I know many people think that definitely is a change that should be done, but I will do it only if the Yanmar is in good conditions, and the Yanmar itself, there is a chance that I will have to rebuild it itself. So there is a lot of things to consider before I make a decision. Meantime, the immediate job ahead of me is to take out the 4108 Perkins, and I'm going to show you a few images about it so you have an idea of what it is that we're talking about. Okay, here you can see the engine. That's a Perkins 4108. You could see under the engine there is a tray specially to collect dripping oil, because oil is not allowed to go into the bilge, because when the bilge pumps out overboard, you would be spilling oil in the ocean, and that's against the law. And of course, we don't want to do that. We don't want to contaminate the ocean. But that's a lot of oil there. Now you see, there's a diaper, what we call it a diaper, that's over there that is totally soaked in oil. So all this oil is coming from the back. In theory, you could run the engine as long as you keep on adding oil to the engine. You could, but it's nonsense to have it like this, spilling so much oil. Also, there is something that you could see here is that the whole engine compartment is blackened out. And that's because there is smoke in the engine compartment, and that's not supposed to be happening. That's another reason I want to service the engine. You could see also that the belt, you could see the alternator is full of a black dust that it comes out apparently from the belt. There might be some alignment problem. I might have to change the belt system for a different one. This is the V belt. But I've been also advised maybe it's a good idea to change it for the flat belt. I'll see into that later on. You see over there, that's the right there over here. That's the air filter, and it's blue and it looks totally black. That means oil is spreading from somewhere. Over here, you see how much oil is on top of the engine, and that engine is blue, and that's not supposed to look like that. So this is what we're looking at, this job that we're looking about now. This is what we're looking at. Okay, so let me back up a little bit so you can see better. In order to do this, I need to have access to the engine from every possible place. And I had to remove, this is what's called the V-berth, the aft berth, I'm sorry. This is the bed in the back of the boat. And I had to remove everything. When you leave aboard a boat, you're going to have a place where you put so much stuff. And this is that place. And I have to empty it out. And I made a whole mess on my boat in order to clear that space so that I can work on my engine. Also, as you see, there are batteries. This is a battery bank. There are 4 batteries on this engine. These are 4 6-volt batteries that are already need to be changed. And I bought 2 Group 31 12-volt batteries. These are 4 6-volt, which is total of 24 volts, and of battery capacity. And over here, I have the same 24 volts, but in 2 batteries of 12 volts each. And that I'm going to replace that later on. That's a different project that needs to be done. Right now, the priority is to get the engine out. And like I said, I needed this space because I need to access the engine from all sides. And over here, I have this is one way to access the engine here. So you could access from this side. I'm going to bring light later on here so we could see what's happening here. And also there is another one access from the outside of the boat. That there is a white wall over there. I don't know if you can see it right there. That I could remove that cover. I have access to the engine from the port side. The starboard side have access, the front, and we are going to get ready to start disconnecting. I need to disconnect all the hoses that are attached to the boat. I need to disconnect all the wirings, that is whatever wires I have, I need to disconnect. I have the fuel hoses, the one that feeds the engine, they will return to the tank. They have this this is the impeller is here. That's what pumps the water, the raw water from the ocean that goes into a heat exchanger in order to cool off the engine. Whatever is connected to the boat, I need to disconnect. And of course, I need to detach from the support of the engine in the bottom. There's 4 supports that I need to remove them. I don't have all the terminology, but I'll be trying to provide the best I can because, like I said before, but I like to try this out, not only because of the budget. It's a very big budget to have someone else do it for you, but because it's something excellent experience on learning how to deal with an engine. After all, when you go sailing, you're on your own. So you're not going to have a mechanic when you're out there. So you need to be able to solve problems when you're in the middle of the ocean. And knowing how to fix an engine problem comes in very handy when you're on your own. So join me, please, and try to make this experience as explicit, if you're able to understand as much as possible. I look for many videos online, and sometimes it's very hard to find a good video that explains every detail. So I'm putting myself in the viewer's position, that to be able to provide, receive as much information as I can provide, because that's how we try to get. YouTube and all these media places become a very good source of help on learning how to do things on your own. So welcome to our project, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.